17. In amazement the judges at each other glad. What Anu was saying they wondered. Neither on earth nor in the bureau shall the exile be, Anu was saying. On the way there is the Lamu planet, which waters and its atmosphere it is endowed. Enki as Eal, there may be a pause. Of it as a way station have I been thinking. Its net force is less than that of the earth forceful, an advantage of wisdom to be considered. And the celestial chariot, Alalu, shall be taken. On my departure from earth, he me shall make the journey. Around the planet, Lamu, we shall make circuit. To Alalu, the great sky chamber, we shall provide. To the planet Lamu, in the well be descended. Alone on the strange planet, in exile he shall be. His days to his last day himself to count. Thus did I new words of judgment utter, and solemnity were the words intended. By unanimity was this judgment upon Alalu imposed. In the presence of the heroes it was announced. Let none go be my pilot to Nibiru. Therefore chariots bearing heroes again to earth to pilot. Let Anu join the journey, the desert to Lamu take charge. So did Anu commanded utter. On the morrow departing was ready. All who departed by boats to the chariots were ferried. A place for landings on the firm soil you must prepare, Anu was saying. How Lamu as a way station to utilize plans you should be making. Farewells there were, both joys and sorrow. Limping did Anu to the chariot embark, with his hands tied to Alalu, the chariot insert. Then to the heavens the chariot soared up. The royal visit had ended. They around the moon made a circuit. Anu by the sight was enchanted. Towards red hue Lamu they journeyed twice about it they circled. They traveled around the moon twice. Lower towards the strange planet they came. Mountains high sky and tears in the surface they noticed. Where Enki's chariot had once landed they observed. By the lakeside it was located. Slowed by Lamu's net power, in the chariot the sky chamber they readied. Anzu, his pilot, then unexpected words to Anu was saying, with Alalu to the firm soil of Lamu I shall descend. With the sky chamber to the chariot to return I wish not. With Alalu to the strange planet I shall stay. Until he dies I shall protect him. When he dies in his poison, as befits kings I shall bury. As for me, I shall have made my name, as they will say, against all odds to a king in exile a companion was. He saw things by others unseen. On a strange planet he faced unknown things. Anzu, they will, to the end of the times, shall stay, like a hero was fallen. There were tears in the eyes of Alalu. There was amazement in the heart of Anu. Your wish shall be honored. To Anzu, Anu said, hereby let the promise to me to you made. By my raised hand to you I swear. On the next journey, a chariot by Lamu shall circuit. Its skyship to you shall descend. If alive I find you, the master of Lamu, you shall be proclaimed. When a way station of Lamu shall be established, its commander you shall be. Anzu bowed his head. So be it. Into the sky chamber Alalu and Anzu were ushered. With eagles' helmets and fishes' suits they were provided. With food and tools they were supplied. From the circling chariots the skyship departed. From the chariots its descent was observed. Then from view it disappeared, and the chariot to Nibiru continued. For 9 shars was Alalu king on Nibiru. For 8 shars Nibiru he commanded. On the 9th shar to die in exile on Lamu was his fate. Now on the account of the return to Anu to Nibiru, and how Alalu on Lamu was buried, and how Enlil on earth the landing place built, and how Enlil built the landing place on earth. On Nibiru there was for Anu a joyous welcome on what had happened to the council, and the princes of Anu gave account. Neither pity nor vengeance from them all he sought. To discuss the task ahead him they all instructed. To assemble a vision great in scope he outlined. Way stations from Nibiru to earth to establish. All the sun's family in one kingdom to encompass. To the first Olamu to be fashioned. The moon for the plans also to be considered. On the other planets or other circling host nations to set up. A chain and constant caravan of chariots to supply and safeguard. The gold from earth without interruptions to Nibiru bring. Perchance gold elsewhere to also find. The counselors, princes, and savants Anu's plans considered. Their salvation in Nibiru and the plans they were all promised saw. They all saw promise in his plan. Sovereigns and commanders' knowledge of celestials God perfected. To chariots and skyships a new kind rocket ship were added. In other words, their technology has improved. Heroes for the task were selected. For the task there was much learning. The plans of Enki and Lil were beamed over. Prepared on earth to hurry, they were told. On earth of what happened had what to be done is required. There was much discussion. Enki Alagar to be of Aridu, the overseer appointed. His steps of Abzu he directed. Where to obtain the gold from earth's bowels he then determined. What heroes to task are needed he calculated. What tools are required to contemplate it. An earth splitter with cleverness Enki designed. On Nibiru that if he fashioned he requested. Therewith in the earth to make a gash, its innards reach by way of tunnels. That which crunches and that which crushes he also designed. On Nibiru for Abzu to be fashioned. On other matters Nibiru's sovereignty to contemplate as. I guess that's the name of the machine, that which crunches and that which crushes. He also designed. Basically an earth crusher or earth mover. Some kind of sophisticated technological drill, I would guess. The matters of health and well-being of heroes that need he listed. He listed everything the heroes needed for health and well-being. To the heroes, earth quick circuits were upsetting. The orbit of the earth was making their bodies dizzy, to put it lightly, making them age faster. Excuse me. The atmosphere, though good, was in some things lacking and others too abundant. Of the sameness of the food the heroes were complaining. Enlil the commander by the heat of the sun, earth was afflicted. For coolness to shade he was longing, while an absolute Enki prepared was making. Enlil in a skyship the extent of the Eden was surveying. Of mountains and rivers he took account, of valleys and plains the measures he took, where the landing place to establish, a place for the rocket ship he sought. Enlil by the seeking, and healed by the heat of the sun afflicted, for a place of coolness to shade was searching, to snow-covered mountains of Eden's north side he took a liking. The tallest trees he ever saw grew there on a cedar forest. There above the mountain valley with power beams of surface he flattened. Great stones from the hillside the heroes quarried and to size cut. To hold the platform with skyships they carried and placed them. With satisfaction did Enlil the handiwork consider their work beyond belief. Indeed it was a structure everlasting and above for himself. The crest of the mountain was his desire. Of the tall trees in the cedar forest long beams were prepared. Of them the construction of the abode for himself was he decreed. The abode of the north crest he named it. I like to look that up later. The abode of the north crest he named it. On Nibiru a new celestial chair for soaring off was preparing. The kinds of rocket skyships of that which Enki had designed it was transporting. A fresh group of 50 from Nibiru it was taking. Chosen females among them were. So in other words, they brought 50 more Anunnakis and 50 of them, and there were chosen females within that selected group. By Ninmah, exalted lady, were the commanded in succor and healing they were trained. Ninmah, exalted lady, a daughter of Anu she was, half sister, not full sister of Enki and Enlil she was. A succor in healing she was greatly learned, and the treating of ailments she excelled.